All right, thank you for listening to another episode of Live Stream of Consciousness. Rate, subscribe, leave a comment. So let's go ahead and get into it. Saturday looks like the storm has passed a little bit. Not that much news has come out the past couple of days as far as the NBA is concerned. NFL. This is around the time they go on holiday. When they get back, they start gearing up, getting ready for training camp. Training camp started around the 17th, I believe. So 21st. First NFL game is about 60, a little bit over 60 days away. First college games, a little bit over 45, 50 days away. So almost football season time. Just got to get these NBA trades passed, but it does seem like things have slowed down considerably. Darius Garland agreed to a max rookie extension. Congrats to him and his family. Always thought he was the better player out of him and Sexton. It'd be interesting to see what they do when Sexton comes back, because they did need his scoring. But because he's so short, it makes your team, your backcourt, two really short guys and then 3 7-foot guys. And I don't know, maybe that could work. But I don't know. I thought that they would possibly trade him. What was everything that's going on with the Pacers? Seemed like they want to cut payroll. Would they be interested in maybe a Buddy Hield trade? I know that they just traded LeVert to the Cavs, but would they be interested in a Buddy Hield trade? That might be something that the Pacers, the Cavs should look at. And then right here, Zion secures max suspension that could get him $231 million. So, people were not in agreement on if he would get a max contract because he has been off injured. And, they thought it would be heavily protected to add injury clauses. But my whole thing was, you're the New Orleans Pelicans, fam. If you have a player like Zion in your orbit, you have to live with the fact that he might leave, he might actually trade. So your imperative is to say, if that does happen, hey, we did everything around him to make him happy. We did everything for him to make him successful. We popped the most talent around him. So the team has talent. They're stacked with guys. A lot of people have talked about them as potentially a Kevin Durant team. I just don't see it. I don't think he's that good to make them a contender, and I don't think they're that good to absorb him and be automatic contenders. I think they would be good. They would be an interesting team, but I don't think that they would beat anybody with this team. We have a really weird phenomenon that's happened in the NBA where a lot of the top teams are dealt with, older players who are getting in their peak. Steph Curry's 32, 33. LeBron, obviously. Kyrie is 30. Kawhi Leonard and Paul George, I believe, are 32 and 31. So there's a lot of players getting to their peak. So if your team like maybe Minnesota, what they did with Gobert, once again, I think that was a travesty, but you have a timeline with your younger players, Memphis, obviously, and then you would put the Pelicans in that. So I think it's fine. We're seeing pictures of him. He looks shredded. He looks diesel. Let me see if I can pick one up. It's just, he looks shredded. He looks like he's ready to go. So, and he has the opportunity to make more. So I don't think that first one is real. This one is real. You can see muscle definition in your arms. I think you have to be at a certain body fat percentage to have muscle definition in your arms. So we'll see. If he comes back in shape, the shape that he played in when he was at Duke, then I think he's definitely going to make an all NBA team. So part of what we just saw there, and I'll bring it back up, is there a trigger in his contract that turns the extension from $193 million to $231 million. So a little bit over $30 million in a difference, a little bit under 40 in difference in money if he gets in shape and he really dominates. Because if he gets in shape and he plays the whole season, he's going to be all NBA. I mean, he's that good. So I like to move for the Pelicans. And if I'm them, everything is kind of working right. You have CJ McCollum, who's getting towards the end of his prime. You have Brandon Ingram, who hasn't really gotten to that point, but he should soon get there. You have Zion as a young player. You got players like Herb Jones. You have Valanciunas. I think that they missed the boat. Since I'm not going to do good, the bad, the ugly, I think, for example, what they should have done is look at Mo Bamba. With Mo Bamba's three-point shooting, his ability to stretch the court, and this is something that they can revisit because he has a very small contract and they still have a gaggle of picks. So I'm sure it'll only take one or two to get him away from them. But with his shooting and his rim protection, you can have spacing around Zion when he attacks the rim. And you could have someone on his back end that Zion does not actually have to be the rim protector at the five. Mo Bamba could do it. So I thought that was a missed opportunity, but I like what they're cooking, regardless of that. So we'll see. So Chris Haynes came out with, let me pull it up. He came out and said that the Lakers, there's optimism between them and Brooklyn that they're going to get the Kyrie trade done. He said that, let's bring it up here. He said that I believe that one of the sticking points is the Nets want them to take, let's pull it up here. Is it? Yeah. So the Nets is draft compensation is the only talking point, and the Nets want them to take shooting guard who has $38.6 million over the next 2 years, including his deal. While the Lakers want Seth Curry, and I understand he has a smaller contract, but at the same time, I think that Joe Harris would actually be a better player for them because they need someone with his size. Let me look at his age. So I think he's not 30 yet. So let's see. Well, he's 30. So, I mean, he's smack dab in his prime. But it's only a 2-year commitment, so it's not like it's a 4-year commitment. It's only a 2-year commitment. I think you need his size. You know, he's 6'6". He has size. You can play him as a small ball forward. You know, this is a West where Kawhi and Paul George are going to be back next year. But I can see how the Lakers are looking at it like, give us the shooting of Curry. Give us someone that you can't space off of. We add him to our bunch with LeBron, with AD and Kyrie. I mean, how are you going to guard them? That's probably what they're thinking. It's just with that team, like, man, you're putting a lot on the back of AD and LeBron to be defensive anchors when you don't have Seth Curry and Kyrie Irving being your two backcourt players in a closing lineup. So if you look at the Lakers roster, they just don't have that much size from, and this has a lot of last year's players because I see Malik Monk and blah, blah, blah. You know, they just don't have a lot of reliable size on the wing. You know, they have Stanley Johnson who can't shoot. Nunn is undersized, same issue. Reeves, he was solid, but he's a second-year player. I think it might be hard for him to go ahead and ask him to guard like a Kawhi. And then you have the Troy Brown, the kid that just got brought in, and the kid that they just got in from the Spurs. So you put all that together. I mean, I'm guessing they're saying like, hey, we'll figure it out. Give us the ability to score. We can get stops at the end. I just think that certain teams are going to put you in the torture chamber, and Harris kind of slows that down. So, but, you know, is financial commitment is one thing. And once again, I think the Lakers are cutting coupons, but at the same time, I can't say that for sure because Curry is that good. And if you can get him at a cheaper salary, an aspiring deal, then it just makes more sense. Nothing's going on in the NFL. One fan is drawing a picture of Jimmy Garoppolo today. Jimmy Garoppolo, he's somebody I just don't understand in this league. You hear smut on his name in 2 separate stops where people are complaining about his energy, his intensity, his willingness to play. but you keep hearing his name brought up in trade rumors. I just don't get it. So to look forward, let's see, free agency buzz. Summer League just started today in Sacramento. I live in Sacramento. No, I did not attend. I mean, I guess it's something to do, right? I guess it's something to do, but man, it's it's nice outside. I'm not, basketball season's over. I have gone to Las Vegas Summer League, and it's actually pretty fun. So if anyone's considering it, like I definitely would do it. Vegas Summer League is a great time. You see random NBA players walking past you. A lot of celebrities come down, especially the initial game. I was there, Zion's first game, and he dunked and the whole arena went crazy. That was a crazy day because that was the day that Kawhi Leonard decided that he was going to the Clippers. And I remember LeBron and I forget, it was another player. They were sitting courtside watching Zion. And I think they played the Knicks. And he just stole the ball. He just ripped the ball away from Knox and just windmilled it. And the whole arena went crazy. Then he didn't play. He didn't come out for halftime because they said he tweaked his knee or bumped his knee versus someone. And then there was an earthquake. It was a little earthquake in Las Vegas, and the jumbotron started moving. So they called the game. Like the players like, oh hell no, that thing moving up there, like that thing about to fall down on me. So they called the game, and then so everybody was like in a panic to get out, find the cars, to find your Uber. And I went down because my college coach at the time, who's coached in the NBA and has been very successful in the NBA, David Fizdale. Shout out to Coach Fizz. He coached me when I was at Fresno State. And I remember him actually announcing the day that he was going to be on Miami staff. So shout out to him. So he was there coaching the Knicks. He was the Knicks head coach at the time. I don't think he was coaching, but he was just there. And so I ran down and I went to go see him, and I got a picture with him. And then there was the earthquake. I got to take a picture with him because of the earthquake, because like the security has scrambled. Usually there's like people blocking you, so you can't get down too close to the players. But that was dope. That was fun. Another piece of NBA news. So it's not here on the free agency buzz because they're not really big players. Let me see if I can find one of them so you can see. So, for example, the Suns signed Damian Lee to a one-year deal. So he's someone that played for the Warriors. You're not in the worst situation in the world if you have to play him. Then they just signed Josh Okogie, minimum deal. Then they traded for the Suns backup center. Never really heard of him, but why are they doing all this? I think they're putting a bunch of minimum contracts together because they're not going to have cap space because they're about to trade for KD. It just logically made sense. I'm not hearing anything. I have not heard word one about Ayton, a team making an offer sheet for Ayton being frazzled. I think everybody knows where this is going. I think Miami's course now is they want to look to trade for Donovan Mitchell, but Danny Ainge has been notoriously the hardest person in the league to trade with. He notoriously offers bad trades, overvalues his players, undervalues your players. That is the way he conducts business. He's one of the worst people to negotiate with. He wants to just win. He doesn't believe in both sides winning a trade. So I'm sure he's going to be empowered by what they just got for Rudy Gobert, and he's probably going to offer a similar package for Donovan Mitchell. So I'm sure when he was hired, like a lot of people in the league circles, the GMs were like, damn, this motherfucker again. Y'all have to bring this motherfucker back in here, man. Because he's just notorious of like hard to deal with. And another thing is players don't particularly like his brand of dealing and his callousness with players and the way he talks about players. So, I mean, I don't understand Utah being in a rush to get him. I know he's a Utah legend, but like, I don't know. It seems to me, if you just look at it at a general manager standpoint, his successor has done a superior job for him than him fairly quickly. So, I mean, you have to give him props on taking Tatum over Fultz. You have to give him props for taking Jaylen Brown, but there's been a lot of misses there, and I just don't understand, why don't they try new blood? Why do they have to go with somebody like that? But it is what it is. So I'll go ahead and leave it like that. Maybe, hopefully, some of these trades are done so the last part of free agency can get done, and we can formally move on to football. But I'm going to start dropping the good, the bad, the uglies on the football team starting on Monday. America's Day. You got to start with America's team, right? How about them Cowboys? We'll see. All right. It's the game of the game. All right. Thank you for watching this clip. Do me a favor. Push the button. Hit subscribe. Come on, man. Push it.
Push the goddamn button. Push the goddamn button. You heard what she said.
And do what's right. You heard her. Push the button. The game is a game.
So what's up, man? What's up with you otherwise, The game is a game. Always.